Kelly Tinnen and Associates, and this week we're talking about adaptability and flexibility when working within your organization. And we have an ever-changing business environment. Things sometimes change by the day. If, for instance, we're working with AI, things are changing very rapidly and information is changing very rapidly. So as business owners, as stakeholders in a business, we really have to be adaptable and flexible and able to pivot as things change. And so what are a couple of tips or thoughts I have around adaptability and flexibility in the work environment, specifically for stakeholders and those who are managing teams? It's really about resilience, being proactive, just being at the forefront of what's happening within your industry and being able, for lack of a better term, to see the writing on the wall, and we may need to make a change or we may need to pivot. So when I think about soft skills, for instance, and we've been talking about soft skills a lot lately, but there's a definite gap in the skills that, especially up and comers into the workforce, those that are going to be driving our teams in our workforce in the next 10 years, let's say, there's a definite gap in some of the soft skills that they have versus what's actually needed in the workplace and what employers and organizations actually need. We really need to create opportunities rather than fight the system, so to speak. We really need to, as leaders in organizations, we need to be thinking about how are we going to create pathways to help those up and comers and even to help our current leaders maximize their skills or build the skills that we need in the workplace. There's this perception that employees today lack loyalty to their teams and loyalty to an organization. And again, I think this is because the workplace and the work landscape has changed. I think, yes, it is a reality that people do move jobs much quicker for advancement and for various reasons. Employers and organizations also, I don't think, have the loyalty to their employees either. And so I think it's important to look at that balance. How do we fill those gaps effectively with costs in mind, but also how are we building morale and retention? And so kind of thinking about within our organization what that balance looks like and really acknowledging, yeah, the job landscape has changed. How are we going to get on board and how are we going to make it the most effective for us? And I think it is about building morale and retention. I think employees today really want to work in a landscape where they feel valued, but they also feel like what they're doing brings value to their community and to their organization. Morale is really hard when your workplace is shifting. And I think it's important. We have to meet employees where they are at. And we have to, in some terms, I think, really build a landscape where we're building the skills and the capacity that we need. So some thoughts around that, maybe that is considering non-traditional workplace policies that allow for flexible scheduling where it's appropriate, obviously. For my sake, Starbucks needs to, be open during the hours that I like to visit, but flexible scheduling where appropriate, remote or hybrid working, a more balanced work life if there is such a thing, a more balanced work life if there is such a thing in balance, but if we can kind of keep those things in check, so to speak, I think we'll really build on that morale and that retention, and ultimately I think will drive your goals and your strategic metrics forward over the long term. So I'd love to hear how you're filling those gaps at your organization. Share it in the comments with me. If you like this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also you can follow us on social media, or you can look up our website, look for kellytinnen.com. I'm Kelly with Kelly Tinnen and Associates, and we'll see you soon.